We live in a world that constantly tells us one thing. More is better. More money. More things. More clothes. More achievements. More noise. And yet, the more we collect, the heavier we feel. Homes are full, but minds are crowded. Schedules are packed, but hearts are restless. Lives look successful from outside, but inside, something feels missing. This is where minimalism begins. Not as a trend. Not as a design style. But as a quiet realization. Minimalism is the point where you stop adding. And start understanding. It doesn't ask you to give up everything. It asks you to keep only what adds value. Because life becomes clearer when unnecessary things fall away. Look at the mind. Every object you own demands attention. Every unnecessary commitment steals energy. Every distraction fragments your focus. Slowly, without realizing, your life becomes heavy. Not because of lack. But because of excess. Minimalism is the wisdom to say, "This is enough." And that single sentence is powerful. When you choose minimalism, your mind breathes again. Clarity returns. Peace feels possible. You stop chasing things to fill inner emptiness. You stop confusing accumulation with success. And you start asking better questions. Do I really need this? Does this serve my growth? Is this aligned with who I want to become? Minimalism enhances life because it removes distraction. It allows you to focus on what truly matters. Your health, your purpose, your relationships, your inner peace. When your surroundings are simple, your thinking becomes simple. When your thinking is simple, your decisions become wise. This is why minimalism is not for everyone. It requires awareness. It requires honesty. It requires strength to not follow the crowd. Wise people don't chase excess. They choose clarity. And clarity leads to awakening. Minimalism changes the way you use time. You stop being busy. And start being present. You realize that time is more valuable than things. Attention is more precious than money. Peace is more important than status. And once this understanding comes, your lifestyle begins to shift naturally. Becoming a minimalist is not about sudden destruction. It is about conscious reduction. You begin by letting go. Not forcefully, but mindfully. You reduce unnecessary consumption. You simplify your routines. You say no to things that drain your energy. You stop trying to impress people who don't add meaning to your life. Slowly, you create space. And in that space, you meet yourself. Minimalism teaches you to live inward instead of outward. To value freedom more than ownership. To value awareness more than accumulation. You start noticing that happiness doesn't come from what you have, but from what you no longer need. Your mind becomes lighter. Your life becomes quieter. Your energy becomes focused. You become less reactive. Less anxious. Less restless. Because when there is less outside, there is more inside. And this is where awakening begins. In simplicity, ego weakens. In silence, insight grows. In awareness, wisdom appears. Minimalism slowly removes the illusion that more will save you. It shows you that peace was never missing. You were just distracted. And here is something most people don't realize. Minimalism is not a modern concept. It is not a lifestyle created by social media. It is an ancient wisdom. At the final stage of understanding, minimalism reveals its deepest truth. In Buddhism, the core teaching is non-attachment. Not owning fewer things, but being free from craving. The Buddha taught that suffering does not come from having. It comes from clinging. Minimalism is that teaching in daily life form. To own without attachment. To use without dependence. To live without craving. That is why monks live simply. That is why awakening requires less, not more. So minimalism is not about losing. It is about liberation. Liberation of the mind. Liberation of attention. Liberation of life. If you feel exhausted by noise. If your mind feels crowded. If your life feels heavy. This may be your sign. Choose less. Choose clarity. Choose awareness. Because minimalism is not a sacrifice. It is a return. A return to what truly matters.